You make it up, innit?
The other guy says. I'll tell you what, no manager here. It must be a crisis. How would you sum up the week? I mean, people are obviously saying things like, the pressure's getting to Manchester City, the results aren't quite right. But I mean, how would you reflect on a week that's seen you back-to-back defeats at home?
Disappointing. You go into games. We were in the 4 competitions. It's disappointing to go out of the Champions League. Got us into the Europa League. We were in the 4 competitions. You've got a manager that wants to win all 4 competitions. Disappointing to lose games. But that's about it. What I do know is that unfortunately, or fortunately in many ways, whichever way you look at it, we have to live with a title running, if you like. That there are 2 ways to get out of having to live with people turning around and saying it's a crisis, it's a blip, it's a slip, whichever way terms they want to do, with questions being fired at Robbie, at me now today, where no matter what I say can go either way in terms of a headline. And there are 2 ways to stop that happening. One, we win enough football matches to put enough daylight between us and the chasing pack, in which case the plaudits will come again. Or we lose 5 or 6 games and get out of it, and then people will talk about somebody else. So I don't think any one of those will happen. I expect that for the next 4 months we'll be living there's a blip here, there's a blip there. Manchester United could go level with Manchester City. Tottenham could go in front of Manchester City if they win this weekend, just because of the TV schedulings as well. And what we can do, although as well as that, is just look inside ourselves and say, well, actually, no matter what's written outside, we know inside our dressing room that things are as they were. We're preparing for football matches to win football matches, and to be honest, take no notice of what's written, what's said. And it sounds an easy line, but it's every year. It happens every year. We can't accelerate things 4 months to be able to say, well, it did or it didn't.
But enough winners and people who can have that mental strength to get you through in that dressing room without the likes. I mean, obviously it's publicised about...
We have to continue what we've done. I mean, if anybody expected us to continue winning games in the manner that we were winning them, and not having a period which would become perceived as a difficult moment, because if you do lose games, then it's a difficult moment. We expected that to happen. People, it happens. It's happened every year for various teams. So you just take the season as a whole. As I said, we can't accelerate it 4 months and say how it's going to turn out. We are where we are. It's not a bad position to be in. It's some crisis, isn't it? Really, we're still in the Carling Cup semi-final with a group of players that is quite capable of going and resurrecting that game, even though it's difficult. There's no doubt about it. Going to Anfield at any time is difficult. And I'd hazard a guess that there's 19 clubs in the league that want to be where we are at this moment in time in the Championship.
Was Wednesday, though, frustrating, bearing in mind how well you'd done on Sunday with 10 men in that second half?
I think you've got to take the 2 games. I don't think you take it because of the result on Sunday, because of the way that we played on Sunday. I don't think you look at it like that. You go into a different game. I think it was we didn't particularly play well in the first half. I thought we did a lot better in the second half. We kept the ball better in the second half, and Liverpool, I think, were forced to defend deep rather than actually wanting to defend deep. I think they were forced to defend deep. And we could talk about variables. You can talk about Sunday's game and had Vinny not been sent off, this might have happened. But they are all variables. The matter of the fact is that we didn't score. We lost the game 1-0, and it's more difficult than it would have been had we won 3-0 to go through to the final. But it's not impossible.
The manager was upset with the 2-footed tackle. Is there a feeling kind of behind the scenes?
No. The manager was upset. Not upset. The manager was not necessarily worried about the two-footed tackle. I mean, live in the game, I don't think it was a case of it necessarily being dangerous and everything. I think what the problem becomes is that there's an inconsistency there that's seen, and Vinny's sending off. I think everybody would say that it shouldn't have happened. Everybody that's had video replays of it. Live in the game, can you excuse the referee for sending him off? Well, yeah, because he's interpreted something in the game that we feel as though we've been punished twice. And I think, having seen a tackle of a similar nature, it's nothing against Glenn Johnson. I think it's a good tackle. But if Vinny's deemed to be reckless and endangering an opponent, then we would say that that's similar. But I think it's a good tackle by Glenn Johnson. The consistency that we have is that we think that Vincent's tackle was a good tackle as well.
How much does that hurt not having him there, especially for this difficult moment?
Listen, I mean, we had a very good run, I think, of injuries and suspensions where. We had more or less every single player on the training pitch for a significant period of time. And when you lose any player, you're going to miss them. When you're competing on the fronts that we were competing, if you lose any player, then you're going to miss them in the squad. He's had an exceptional season. Of course you're going to miss him. But at the beginning of the season, you can't expect somebody to play every game of the season. You know that these things are going to come about.
Can we talk Tevez? Are you permitted to tell us what's going on there, or what do you know?
I suppose we can talk about him, but you probably know more than me. We don't talk Tevez, you tell me.
Well, there was lots of shaking heads yesterday, but is that just part of the negotiation that maybe...
I don't know. I mean, it would be... you've jumped to that conclusion, and me, I would jump to the same conclusion, but I don't know. I mean, it's just based, it's an opinion, but...
But having been in Italian football, is that how it works? They sort of say everything's off and then suddenly...
I've never been an Italian president of a football club, so... I don't think it's anything to do with Italy or England and everything like that. I think if that's what they've come out and they've said, it may well be off. It may well be a negotiation. I don't know, James, honestly.
But he couldn't have a future here at all, could he? Or could he?
I don't know. I don't know. I think, stranger things have happened. I think without being in that loop, from what I'm led to believe, is that, unless the deal is right for the football club, then it's not happening anyhow.
How well has Roberto done with that? I mean, you've been by his side, we've been watching from afar. I mean, you've been kind of in the trenches with him. Lesser managers might have sort of fallen by the wayside or been crushed by what happened with Tevez and that whole situation.
Listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you just asked the question about Vincent. We're without Vincent for 4 games, and no disrespect to him, but we have to concentrate on the players that we have available. Yaya and Kolo have gone to the African nations. The circumstances have dictated that Carlos has been unavailable for us, and therefore we have to deal with the players that are available, and that's how he's got through it. He's not sat there worrying at night about the players, like he won't be worrying at night now about the loss of Vinny on Monday night and the next 2 games thereafter, because unfortunately that's what the facts are. So he'll deal with what he's got available.
In terms of injuries, David Silva any chance on Monday?
Yeah. David did a bit of running yesterday over in Spain. He'll do it a little bit more today when he gets back. We're hopeful that he'll be on a training pitch tomorrow.
And Mario, he popped into a college to take a leak yesterday, apparently, in Russia. So maybe we'll...
Did he? Monday might be maybe, but it's a maybe. But it's nothing that's of any real significance to keep him out thereafter.
Just a final point from me. Harry Redknapp said yesterday that they're doing things the old-fashioned way and that Manchester City are going to spend their way to success. That's paraphrasing what he said. Is that just the start of mind games going into a run-in?
I don't know. I think it's great that for me, Tottenham have been at the party for a long time, but now, I'm glad that everybody else is seeing that they're at the party as well, because, they've had a tremendous season. They have the games that they've gone left, there's no doubt about it, that they've got 18 games left like us, and Manchester United, where they can amass enough points to win the league. So they're genuine title contenders. and it's good, and it's good that they're there now and everybody's aware of them, because you feel as that the feeling is that they've been under the radar for a little bit, because maybe we live it in Manchester and it's been the rivalry United City, and we live it maybe down in London it's a different thing. But I think we should all be aware that Tottenham are genuine title contenders.
But they have spent a fair bit of money in getting there as well. It's not just luck, is it?
Well, I mean, really, what money's been spent and everything like that. There's one trophy. You don't get a trophy for spending money or not spending money. You get a trophy for being at the top of the pile. I think what Harry's done, he's got a right to be proud of what he's done. I mean, I read the article this morning. As you say, you're paraphrasing it. You can't take too much out of copy and quotes necessarily, but he's got a right to be proud of what he's achieved. But I don't know whether the money comes into it. I think it's irrelevant. I think he should still be proud if he finishes second and he's a point behind us. But we'll be happy as well.
Someone like Balotelli within reason, the madcap things that he does a bit of a help in a way, because it does create a bit of a diversion from what could otherwise be quite an intense situation when everybody's trying to achieve something that's so momentous.
I think intense situations, pressure, etc., that we talk about, and I just said there, we're going to have to live it for the next 4 months. Or I believe we'll have to live it for the next 4 months, because I believe we'll continue to win enough football matches to be in the mix. It's created outside of your little cocoon, your little bubble, so to speak, because, if Roberto was to say, now, you know what, I'm not living it and I'm not handling this media and what have you, and I'm not going to do any press conferences, then that would be turned and said it's because of the pressure, the intense. So it's something that's created that, to be honest with you, we've just got to understand what's inside our building and understand and every time we go into a football match, we go in to win it without worrying about other people's results at the weekend. They're bonuses. If a team drops points, it's a bonus. But unless we get to a certain total, and we don't know what that total is going to be, it really is irrelevant, So creating diversions, I don't think anything creates diversions, because the bold facts are that you have to go in and you have to win football matches. And I don't think we live it as much as you feel, as you might think that we do, in terms of picking papers up and reading back pages that this is a title decider next Sunday against Tottenham. It isn't.
Well, when you were a player, you were part of teams that won titles, you were part of teams that didn't. Was there any difference in the way that you played matches from February onwards when you were?
No, I don't think there is any difference from February onwards. I think it's like the manager now. People can turn around and say, this is happening, that's happening, the other's happening. He's no different than he was a month ago, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. No different at all. I don't think there's any difference. I think that tiredness, the physical side of it, the fact that you're at the business end, you're going out of cup competitions if you lose football matches when it starts to get to that period, and therefore the headlines come bigger. Everybody can see the finishing line. In terms of preparation for football matches, putting a team out, trying to win football matches, etc., nothing changes really.
You enjoying it?
Yeah. Am I enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't I enjoy it?
Well, I mean, some people don't react well to pressure. I knew what you were going to say.
What pressure? I've just gone to great lengths to say there isn't.
Yeah. But you can feel that. People do feel that. So other people respond to it. Other people get kind of tighten up with it. Find it hard.
Do you go up and down with results? Yeah. No doubt about it. You go up and down the results. What do you do? Do you get back and look forward to the next game and say, right, okay, we can still win the next game? I'm down the other night. Yeah, everybody's disappointed because we get beat 1-0 at home. It makes the away leg difficult. It makes reaching the Carling Cup final difficult. Liverpool are favourites. They've got home advantage. We all know what it's like going to Anfield. Is this group of players capable of going and winning by 2 clear goals at Anfield? All season it's shown us that it is capable of going and winning football matches like that. So your disappointment always has the fact that that the boys are going to put the boots back on again, and there's another thing to look forward to. So you're up and down and you get disappointed, but pressure's what you create yourself, I think.
Is there an argument for maybe giving David Silva a bit of a breather at the moment, a long season?
Just had one. No, I mean we've had to monitor things. I mean, with all the games that have been going on every 3 days, there's been a couple of occasions where we've decided to take David out of it and give him a breather in a game. He missed the game against Liverpool because of the ankle knock. But I think all footballers are geared towards completing a season, if you like. David's always going to. He stays pretty clear of injury, I think, but he's always going to get little kicks and knocks and niggles because he holds onto the ball in tight areas and things. But no, I don't think there's a case. If you're implying, do we give him 2 or 3 weeks off to have in with a title run? I don't think that'll happen. No.
You feel he's okay to sort of play regularly from now until the end of the season?
Yeah, but we monitor it on a game-to-game basis with David.
You won a Premier League title with Arsenal, as Simon referred to. What does it take to do that?
Get more points than the others.
Do you feel this side is?
That's what it is. I mean, every title running is different. That title running that I won with Arsenal, I think we lost 3 games out of 4, just short of Christmas. We was in a crisis, and then we went. I think we might have won 10 games on the bounce, or 11 games on the bounce, or something like that, to win it. At the moment, we've got our noses in front. I don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks. We could pull away. We could get caught. We could get surpassed. We have to look at 18 games and make sure that in that 18 games we get 2 points less than anybody else. If you look at it that way, we have to just make sure that we're in front. And I think everyone's different, and you just deal with what you've got at that time. I don't think you can look at what it takes and what it doesn't take. It'll take winning football matches. It'll take continuing to believe and continuing to do what we've been doing for more or less all the season.
Final one from me. When you look around that dressing room, do you see a team of winners?
I see a team that won last year, that it's helped them. Winning the FA Cup would help you. You've won a trophy. I see a team that's got a desire to win, and I see a team full of ability that's got the capabilities of winning.
Can I just ask you a question about Wigan? Obviously, you played on Monday. What have you made about Wigan this season?
I think they play the football, don't they? They don't go away from that. Roberto Martinez has got his own style. He wants to play. They had a very, very bad run that has seen them involved in a relegation battle now. But he'll continue to use his philosophies. They've picked up just recently in terms of the points that they've taken. They'll be full of energy. They'll try and play. They'll try and take the game to us. We know it'll be difficult.